Respect at the workplace is a strange game. Everyone says it comes from being nice, being helpful, being a team player. Smile more, agree more, work hard and let your results speak. Sounds good, feels right. But in the real world, that formula gets you liked, not respected. And there's a brutal difference between the two. You can be the most competent person in the room, the one carrying half the workload, solving problems others don't even understand, and still be ignored, talked over, or sidelined. Why? Because respect is not awarded for effort, it is granted for perceived power. That's the uncomfortable truth Machiavelli understood centuries ago. People don't respond to goodness, they respond to signals, signals of authority, control, and consequence. If you don't manage those signals, your competence becomes invisible. Let's get this straight early. Respect is not about dominance, aggression, or playing dirty. It's about positioning, quiet, calculated positioning. And once you understand that, everything changes. First, stop confusing respect with approval. Approval is emotional. Respect is strategic. Approval says, I like you. Respect says, I measure my behavior around you. You don't need everyone to like you. In fact, chasing approval often destroys respect. The more you bend to please everyone, the more people subconsciously categorize you as safe, and safe people are rarely taken seriously. Machiavelli warned that being overly agreeable invites exploitation, not because people are evil, but because they follow incentives. If there's no cost to ignoring you, they will ignore you. So the first shift is internal. Stop trying to be liked by everyone. Be fair, be professional, but don't be desperate for approval. Second, control your reactions. Nothing destroys respect faster than emotional leakage. If every disagreement triggers frustration, if every criticism gets a defensive response, if your tone shifts based on pressure, people learn something about you. They learn you can be moved. And once people know your buttons, they don't need to defeat your argument, they just need to press you. Machiavelli's world was full of manipulation, and his core insight still applies. The person who controls themselves controls the room. This doesn't mean being robotic, it means being measured. Pause before responding. Lower your voice when others raise theirs. Stay composed when things go sideways. Calmness signals authority, not loudness. A calm person forces others to adjust. Third, speak less but say more. There's a pattern you'll notice in every workplace. The least respected people talk the most. They over-explain, over-justify, over-participate. They fill silence because they think silence weakens them. It does the opposite. When you speak too much, your words lose weight. Machiavelli emphasized precision. The fewer words you use, the more carefully people listen. Silence creates tension, and tension creates the tension. Next time you're in a meeting, try this. Don't jump in immediately. Let others talk. Observe. Then deliver one clear, structured point. No rambling, no apologetic tone. Just clarity. People won't remember everything you say, but they will remember how it felt when you spoke. Make it feel decisive. Fourth, set boundaries early and enforce them quietly. Respect is tested in small moments. Someone interrupts you. Someone dumps extra work on you last minute. Someone takes credit for your effort. Most people let these slide to keep the peace. That's how you lose ground.
Machiavelli would tell you this: what you tolerate becomes your identity in the eyes of others. If you tolerate being interrupted, you become interruptible. If you tolerate being overburdened, you become the default workhorse. You don't need confrontation, you need correction. Let me finish. I can take this on next week, not today. I'd like to walk through the part I handled. Short, calm, direct. No anger, no drama, just clarity. People respect those who define their limits without needing a scene. Fifth, understand the power of perception. Here's something people hate to admit. Your work doesn't speak for itself. People interpret it. And interpretation is shaped by visibility, framing, and timing. You might be doing excellent work, but if no one sees it, or worse, if someone else frames it better, you lose the narrative. Machiavelli was obsessed with appearances, not in a shallow sense, but in a strategic one. He knew perception often outweighs reality in shaping influence, so you manage your visibility. You communicate outcomes, not effort. You highlight impact, not activity. You speak in terms of results, not struggles. "I worked late on this" means nothing. This reduced processing time by 30% changes how people see you. Don't brag, just be intentional about what you make visible. Sixth, don't outshine recklessly, especially upward. This one is subtle but critical. Incompetent or insecure superiors don't respond well to being intellectually overshadowed. If you walk in and constantly display how much sharper you are, you won't be rewarded, you'll be resisted. Machiavelli understood power dynamics better than anyone. He knew that survival sometimes requires restraint. Your intelligence is a tool, not a performance. Use it strategically. Let your boss feel in control. Frame your ideas as extensions of their direction. Give credit upward when needed. You're not diminishing yourself, you're navigating reality. Win influence first, recognition follows. Seventh, detach from unnecessary conflict. Not every battle is worth your energy. Some people argue for sport, some for ego, some because they have nothing better to do. If you engage every time, you become predictable and drained. Machiavelli would call this a waste of resources. Pick your battles carefully. If the outcome matters, engage fully. If it doesn't, disengage without guilt. A simple "noted" or "we can revisit this later" can save you hours of pointless debate. The more selective you are, the more weight your engagement carries. Finally, accept that respect is not instant. It is accumulated. Every calm response, every boundary set, every precise statement, every strategic silence, it stacks. And one day you notice something shift. People stop interrupting. They ask for your input instead of ignoring it. They think twice before pushing your limits, not because you demanded respect, but because you engineered it. That's the difference. Anyone can ask for respect. Very few know how to command it. And once you understand the game, you stop playing it emotionally. You play it deliberately, quietly, effectively. That's how respect is built. Not by being louder, but by being harder to ignore.